Today we are going to learn a beautiful poem written by Dilip Chitr, Father Returning Home. Poet Dilip Purushottam Chitr was born on 17th September 1938 at Baroda and died on 10th of December 2009 in Pune at the age of 71 due to cancer. He was one of the foremost Indian poets and critics. He was a teacher, a painter, filmmaker, and a magazine columnist. Also a bilingual writer, as he wrote mostly in English and Marathi. He published his first collection of poems in 1960. This poem, Father Returning Home, focuses on a certain individual, a commuting father who was returning home from work. There is little emotion shown in the poem with gloomy and pessimistic atmosphere. Poet here tries to create a powerful and imaginistic biography of his own father, whom he observes as the unhappy protagonist. Poet being inspired by Mumbai city, and he portrayed all in the poem. This poem consists of 2 stanzas, 12 lines each. There is no rhyme scheme or meter. It is written in free verse. It is first person narrative where poet narrates about his own father. Let us see the explanation of the poem line wise of each stanza. Let's see the explanation line wise. My father travels on the late evening train, standing among silent commuters in the yellow light. Suburbs slide past his unseeing eyes. Now here in these 3 lines, first of all, in the first line, the description of the poet's father is given, that he is traveling home. The father is traveling in the late evening train after finishing his work. Here, late evening may indicate how long the father worked, so he gets late to return home. In the second line here, his father is standing among the silent passengers in yellow light inside the train compartment. Now this line indicates the suffering of his father, that after working so hard whole day, he is returning home standing on a foot and he doesn't get any seat. Also, the passengers were not friendly. The yellow light here tells about the passengers that they do not converse with each other and there is lack of cheerfulness. In the third line, while the train moves, many suburbs pass by. But he has seen those suburbs so many times that he has no intention to look them. Nothing seems to him so interesting now. Let's see the poetic device of each line. In the very first line, the sound of T is repeated in the line for poetic effect in the words travel and the and train. So alliteration is there. Also, in the second line, the sound of the consonant S is repeated in the line for poetic effect in the words standing and silent. That's why alliteration is again there. In the third line, again alliteration is there because here the sound of S is repeated in the line for the poetic effect in the words suburbs and slight. Consonance is also present here because the consonant sound S has been repeated here in the words suburbs, past, unseeing and eyes. The phrase unseeing eyes is self-contradictory here. That's why paradox is also present. Here suburbs are given the animate quality of sliding past. That's why personification is also present here as a poetic device. Transferred epithet is also seen here in the third line as a poetic device. Let's move forward. His shirt and pant are soggy and his black raincoat, stained with mud, and his bag stuffed with books is falling apart. Now here the poet tells that due to the rainy day, the dress of his father become wet. Also his raincoat is damaged with mud, and now he is struggling to handle the bag in which he was carrying books. Here the black coat indicates the lack of color in the dull life of poet's father. And a bag full of books might indicate that although he was an educated man, but is not that important now. He is just an ordinary person for the people who accompany him in his journey. Here the difficulties of poet's father are highlighted. In the very first line, we can see metaphor is present there. And in the next line, we can see alliteration is there as a poetic device. Let's proceed further. His eyes dimmed by age fade homeward through the humid monsoon night. Now I can see him getting off the train like a word dropped from a long sentence. He hurries across the length of the grey platform, crosses the railway line, enters the lane. His chappals are sticky with mud, but he hurries onward. Now here poet talks about his father's old age. Due to that, his eyesight has become poor and he finds it difficult to move in the dark. Also, he saw his father getting down of the train. He gets down as he is now unimportant to the crowd in the train and his presence do not matter. And after getting down the train, he sees his father hurrying towards a grey platform. So he can reach home soon. But his sticky chappals with mud prevent him to walk fast. Now here the word hurries used to bring the effect of escapism. His father is trying to escape from those people, those muddy streets. He's just trying to escape from the dull, humid atmosphere and that grey platform. He is just trying to escape from the place where no one cares for him. So he wants to reach home and attain peace as soon as possible. Let's go to the poetic devices. Here in the very first two lines, metaphor is present because the eyes that fade homeward are indirectly compared to the weariness. Alliteration is also present. Here transfer epithet is also there. In the next two lines, we can see simile is there. In the next line, metaphor is again there. Also, alliteration is present. In the second last line, we can see alliteration is there. And in the last line of the first stanza, the poetic device alliteration is present. Proceed with the lines of the second stanza. Home again I see him drinking weak tea, eating a stale chapati, reading a book. Now here with these two lines, a sense of pity for the poet's father arises. These lines tell us that his father, after returning home, drink a weak tea and ate a stale chapati and keep on reading a book. He never complained or never expect anything, any kind of care from his family member. He never complained that nobody cares for him. The poetic device present here is synecdoche because here chapati represent the whole food. He goes into the toilet to contemplate man's estrangement from a man-made world. Coming out, he trembles at the sink, the cold water running over his brown hands. A few droplets cling to the graying hair on his wrist. Now, his father goes into the toilet. He just wants himself to be isolated from the whole world. So he finds toilet such place. And there he was thinking that how man no longer remain a part of a social group. Here it seems that the poet's father is upset with his relations, he is upset with the situations. And when he comes out, he terribly shaken. It happened because of the thought that came into his mind while he was thinking in the toilet. That is why his hands shake while washing them in the cold water. Now here with the word toilet, it symbolizes that how small is the world. Here the father hoped to find some support from family when he hurries towards home, but is disappointed. So this place, the toilet, seems to him where he can think over his loneliness. Now here water generally symbolizes life and grey hairs stand for the old age. So we can say that the old man's life is just holding on to the old age of father. Here consonance is present because we can see the consonant sound of T has been repeated in the words in the given line to create a poetic effect. Then repetition is also there. In the next line we can see alliteration. In the second last line transfer epithet is there, and in the last line again synecdoche is there. His sullen children have often refused to share jokes and secret with him. He will now go to sleep, listening to the static on the radio, dreaming of his ancestors and grandchildren, thinking of nomads entering a subcontinent through a narrow pass. Now, here is our second stanza ends. Here the poet tells us that his father finds himself all alone in his room. The poet talks about his relation with his family members. His children do not share words with him. They do not crack jokes or interact with their father. So their father listens to the radio and goes to sleep. And in his dreams, he dreams about his ancestors. He dreams about his grandchildren. His children do not share a close and friendly bond. They rather feel that he is an unwanted burden and a source of earning for a family. So the father tries to escape from his dull routine life. He thought of Aryans as he thinks that how society has changed since ancient times. Now this modern world seems to him as it's not a place for him, where one feels loneliness and no one cares for him. The poetic device present here is synecdoche. Also consonance is there. Alliteration is also present. In the next line we can see that again consonance is there. Onomatopoeia is present in the third last line. And in the last line we can see poetic device alliteration. So here by going through the whole poem, we come to a conclusion that the major theme of the poem are isolation, rootlessness, cultural identity, the future of the individual in the city, the generation gap, old age in the modern society, and alienation. Do like, share and subscribe the channel for the appreciation of the poem. Thank you.